Hello. Right. This is a really quick one. I've been contacted this morning by somebody that I'm connected to on Facebook, and they've had a call from the police about something that they won't disclose, and they are worried that what they think it is some comment that they've made on my page. So I just want to do a very quick how-to when it comes to dealing with the police. I actually think that the majority of the time the police do a really good job, albeit relatively shit for women. And we know that in loads of cases they do a very bad job, but they're not particularly well paid people. And I think that if I was in a terrible, frightening situation, they are the people I would call. So this isn't an anti-police. However, they are lazy. And what the police want to do, because of the political climate with police and crime commissioners and so on, is they want to manipulate and make their crime statistics malleable and as good as possible. So if you can show that you're clearing up hate crime, which is a nonsense as far as I'm concerned, and I mean all hate crime and all hate speech, I think is ridiculous. I think if I get punched in the face, it's just as bad as if my 17-year-old white son gets punched in the face, or if a Muslim woman gets punched in the face, or a black man, or you know, I think there should always be mitigating factors to certain crimes, but I think if you're punched in the face, that's it. That's enough. Anyway, so what the police want to do is they want to massage their statistics so it makes them look like far more effective than they are, and this is because of shrinking numbers and the inability to actually deal with many of the real crimes that are happening. And you will know in probably where you live that burglary and things like that, sometimes they don't even come out. You know, if your bike gets stolen, I bet most of you don't even bother to phone the police unless you want to claim an insurance for a crime number. So that said, the police contact you. They'll either phone you, text you, leave you a message. They won't come to your house. It's very rare, like in the case of Kate Scotto, that they will actually come to your house and arrest you, because they have to. You have to usually fit many more criteria. I mean, Kate Scotto's case is ridiculous, as I'm sure we can all agree. But let's think about what normally happens. So they would text or they would phone you and they would talk to you, and they may disclose what they want to talk to you about. They may not, but they will invite you to an interview. And usually on a first call, they'll be very, very nice about this, about, oh, we just want to talk to you. Please come in, we'll invite you for a voluntary interview. At this point, you can do two things. You can either ignore it until they escalate it and think it's big enough and bad enough to come and arrest you, which they may well do. Or you can phone a solicitor. All solicitors will offer you free advice and they will come to the interview with you. Now, you have to ensure that what you do is not make the police's job any easier. Don't talk to them any more than you have to on the phone, even though it's not recorded. If you can, when you take the call, take it on a landline, or if you make the call, make it on a landline and record the call. Now, this isn't so you can broadcast it or publish it. This is so you can clearly remember and have a record of what was said. And I don't believe, unless you broadcast it or publish it, that you're actually breaking any law by recording that call. And it'll also be very useful when you eventually meet up with a solicitor, if you choose to. You must not, and all solicitors would advise this, you must not talk to the police. You must not give them any easy get. So you can't tell them any of your views. You can't defend any of your views. What you have to say is no comment. And you have to say that to everything. Now, it's very likely that all you've done is made a comment online, maybe calling a man a woman. Maybe not calling a man a woman. Or you may have used the correct biological pronouns, or you may have even said that you think all trans women are fetishist perverts, and there's no such thing as trans. You may have said whatever you've said, or that Susie Green's charity Mermaids runs an organisation that lobbies the government, and their overwhelming goal is to reduce the age at which children are protected, because what they want to do is they want to transition children as soon as possible. You may have even said something like that. You may have called Susie Green a child abuser, which I will repeatedly do always. And if I end up in court, So be it. Apparently that was a big enough comment, by the way, to get the police to interview me last time. So I do invite them again. So you go to the interview, you say no comment, you stick to no comment, no matter how friendly or how you think it may be different. You take your solicitor, because that reminds you, well, if you're anything like me, and I'm probably really projecting, my solicitor was there to make sure I didn't misbehave, because I am very quick with my words, and it's very likely that the police would have said something so provocative that I would have answered quite furiously that they were absolute cretins, which was very difficult when one of the police officers said that transition male to female doesn't include the removal of testicles. You know, mainly because that policeman was an absolute fucking moron. So you go along to the police interview, you do no comment, and then you just shut up, really. I don't think you should be cowed into any, sorry, I've got a really flickery light. I don't think you should be cowed into any silence, but it's very, very important that you don't give the police any cause or justification to charge you with anything. So here's my advice in a nutshell. Police contact you. You have two choices. You can either allow them to talk to you if they message you, or you can just keep letting them message you and message you and message you, which is what I did with the first lot. When you do make that call, try and make it on a landline and record it on your mobile, so you have a really clear record of what it is that they've said, because it's very easy to forget, because most of us have no dealings with the police. You contact a free solicitor. You will find all solicitors of a criminal nature, unless they're sort of top whack solicitors in London. But most solicitors will offer you free advice, and they will also come to a police interview with you for free. They will prepare a statement for you, so that you can answer whatever it is that they're questioning you about. You have an answer. You're just not going to be at risk of saying something silly in an interview. But my advice really is, thank you. I don't know what's going on. My advice essentially is that the police have no business to talk to you about anything that's going on online. Until we don't have women beaten in their homes, until we don't have stalking victims who've been made aware to the police that actually they are at risk of extreme harm, and then the police ignore them. Until those things happen, I don't really have any desire to enable the police to criminalise women just for speaking up about our rights online. Do feel free to private message me if this happens to you. I'm more than happy always to speak about my experience with the police, but please don't allow the police to entrap you into saying something and letting them get an easy crime stat. Okay, that's the end of the lesson. Have a nice day.